Jack's adventure in the jungle once upon a time, in a small village nestled between towering mountains and dense, uncharted jungles, there lived a young boy named Jack. Jack wasn't like the other children of the village. While they were content with their simple lives, helping their parents and playing near the village streams, Jack had always been drawn to the mysteries of the jungle that lay beyond the village. He was filled with a sense of adventure, longing to explore the world that the elders spoke of in hushed tones of ancient creatures, hidden treasures, and the whispers of old legends that seemed to haunt the very air of the jungle. One crisp morning, as the sun peeked through the misty veil that covered the village, Jack decided that the time had come. Armed with a makeshift wooden staff, a small bag of supplies, and a heart brimming with excitement, he set out for the jungle. His parents warned him about the dangers lurking beyond the village, but Jack was determined. The call of adventure was too strong, and his curiosity too great. The dense trees of the jungle loomed before him, their massive trunks twisted and covered in thick vines. A cool breeze rustled the leaves, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and wildflowers. Jack hesitated for a moment, feeling a shiver of uncertainty pass through him. But the thought of what lay beyond urged him forward. As he ventured deeper, the sounds of the village faded, replaced by the rhythmic hum of the jungle. Birds with feathers as bright as gemstones soared above, their calls echoing through the trees. Strange creatures rustled in the underbrush, unseen but felt. The jungle seemed alive, as if it were watching him, waiting. Jack's first obstacle came when he stumbled upon a wide, fast-flowing river that cut through the jungle like a silver snake. The water was cold and fast, swirling with an intimidating current. He knew that crossing it would be no easy task, but he also knew there was no turning back. He searched along the riverbank, hoping to find a way to cross. After some time, he spotted a fallen log, thick and sturdy, stretching across the water like a natural bridge. With his heart pounding, Jack carefully climbed onto the log and balanced himself as best as he could. The log swayed slightly with every step, but Jack's determination kept him steady. He reached the other side, feeling a sense of triumph as the sound of the rushing river faded behind him. But he knew this was just the beginning of his journey. Hours passed, and the jungle grew denser, the trees taller, and the undergrowth thicker. Jack's path became more difficult to navigate as the sun climbed higher in the sky. Yet, despite the sweat on his brow and the exhaustion creeping into his muscles, he pressed on, driven by an unshakable sense of purpose. As night began to fall, Jack found a small clearing and decided to rest. He built a small fire with dry twigs and leaves, the warmth from the flames offering a welcome relief from the cool evening air. He sat by the fire, staring into the dancing flames, wondering what the next day would bring. Just as his eyes began to droop with sleep, he heard something soft, almost imperceptible footsteps moving through the brush. Jack stood up instantly, his senses alert. His hand gripped the staff tightly as he listened intently. The footsteps stopped, and for a moment the jungle was silent. Then, through the trees, a figure emerged, a large, golden-eyed panther. Its sleek coat shimmered in the moonlight, and its gaze locked with Jack's. There was no growl, no movement from the creature. It simply stood there, observing him. Jack's heart raced in his chest, but something inside him knew this was not a moment of danger. The panther didn't seem hostile, only curious. Slowly, Jack lowered his staff, his eyes never leaving the creature's. After a long, tense moment, the panther turned and silently disappeared back into the jungle, leaving Jack in awe of the encounter. The next day, Jack continued his journey, the memory of the panther still vivid in his mind. As he ventured deeper into the heart of the jungle, he came upon an ancient stone temple, its towering walls covered in moss and vines. The temple seemed to pulse with an eerie energy, and Jack felt a strange pull towards it. Cautiously, he stepped inside, the air thick with the scent of age and dust. The walls were covered in intricate carvings, depicting strange creatures and symbols Jack couldn't understand. His fingers traced the carvings, feeling a deep sense of wonder. It was clear that this place had been untouched for centuries, a forgotten relic of an ancient civilization. In the heart of the temple, Jack found what he had been searching for, a massive stone pedestal, and upon it, a glimmering object. It was a small, intricately carved box, no bigger than the palm of his hand. The box was adorned with precious stones that shimmered in the dim light. As Jack reached for it, he felt a surge of energy, as if the jungle itself was holding its breath. Suddenly, the ground beneath him trembled. The walls of the temple shook, and the air grew thick with dust. The jungle around the temple roared to life, the trees swaying violently as if responding to the disturbance. Jack clutched the box tightly, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew that whatever was happening was not natural. In that moment, Jack understood the box was not just a treasure. It was a key to something far greater than he could have ever imagined. The jungle was not just a place of danger and mystery, it was alive, and it was guarding something ancient and powerful. With the box in hand, Jack turned and ran from the temple. The ground continued to tremble, and the jungle seemed to come alive, its creatures stirring in the chaos. But Jack wasn't afraid anymore. He was no longer just a boy seeking adventure. He was now a part of something much larger than himself. As he made his way back through the jungle, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that the jungle was watching him, guiding him. It had tested him, challenged him, but now it had entrusted him with its secret. He returned to the village, the box safely in his possession. The villagers, who had always been wary of the jungle, looked at him with a mixture of awe and fear. They had heard the legends, but they never imagined anyone would return from the jungle with such a treasure. Jack, now forever changed by his journey, knew that this was just the beginning. The jungle still held many secrets, and he was ready to uncover them one adventure at a time.